This actual ticket has been decided that I'm going to sing, so here we go. And a one, and a two, and a 1, 2, 3, go. Adam Cole and the babies. 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 That was great. The party for life. The party for life. The party.
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody had a great weekend and a great start to their week. My name is John Pingel. This is THS Wrestling Presents That Wrestling Show. And I am joined by my good friend, who I do not have a lyric or a cool intro for this week. I apologize. Neesin, how are you?
I am great. I am happy to be here as of all. And yeah, man, you know, that was interesting. Dynamite.
It was, and we will at some point talk about Dynamite. I'm actually pretty excited to voice my opinion of this Dynamite. Smooths, what's up? Thomas, what's going on? Matthew, what's going on? Guys, we have, you know, I will tell you one thing that came to my mind when we opened Dynamite this week. And Orange Cassidy came out, and I was just watching the man who doesn't care about anything, who we love to watch wrestle, come out to the ring. I thought to myself, man, I love professional wrestling. Yeah. That was the thought I had in that moment. And we're hopefully that love will shine through for the next hour, where we have a lot to talk about. The road to WrestleMania, all gas, no break. That is for sure where we're at. That is where we are at right now. And man, oh man, we're going to start off where we should start off.
Okay.
And that's where Monday Night Raw started off. Live on Netflix from overseas at the cool, crisp time of noon. They should all be at noon. Just take the day off, go watch wrestling, so I can watch it at home at noon. John Cena. We heard from John Cena for the first time. We're not going to go blow for blow about his promo, but it was a doozy, that's for sure. And I think he was out there for about 25 minutes, laying it all on the line. And Neesin and chat, I want to know your guys' thoughts too. But most of all, Neesin, how did John Cena's promo, his first time talking since the heel turn, how did it hit for you?
Well, that promo made me look at myself, right? Like, I think the whole thing of him saying is that he's not going to do the things that we always wanted him to do because he is not one of us. He's not going to dress different. He dresses the way he dresses. We dress like him. He's not going to change his music because that music is him and his time is now. He's not going to do all the things that we've been screaming and hollering for him to do because this is on his time and he's doing it for himself. He's finally taking things into his own hands. And instead of living for everyone else, he's living for himself. Because why? Over the last 25 years, John, 25 years, we have not asked, how do you feel, John? How do you feel, Cena? And he's right. I didn't ask, how does he feel? I didn't. Did you? You didn't.
No. Maybe once, but many years ago.
Yeah. So to me, it was the best promo I've seen in a long time because it was a lot of truths in it. And it was a lot of things where it makes you think like, damn, he was right. He's right. I can't like you can't boo that at the end. If you listen to it towards the end, like people weren't really booing, they were like, oh damn,
Yeah.
it's kind of right. So what did you think?
So what I thought was I texted you, I think during it, and
Mhm.
my thoughts went back to the time that, and spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't read a, I think, near 15-year-old comic, but when Cyclops ended up turning on the X-Men and murdering Charles Xavier, he was a man of conviction that he did not change at all in his mind. He had
Right.
been Cyclops through and through the entire time. It was everyone else around him that changed. And I
Yep.
think the best villains are the ones that stick to their guns and think that they are 100% correct and they are doing it to better themselves and to better the world. And I think that is what we got from John Cena on Monday. I absolutely loved, because the first thing I thought when he came out was, I said, he's still the same. He didn't change anything. And then he said, hold on, I'll address that, John. And I said, wow, you're talking to me. And I loved his points. This is who I am. I'm not changing for you. Just because you want new music doesn't mean you're
Yep.
going to get new music. Just because you want me to dress differently doesn't mean you're going to get that. Everything that you guys want to be cool about this, I am taking away from you.
Did you
And
did you did you notice that he set that up at the top?
yes,
Like that, I mean, meaning he said, no matter what people say, like if you know yourself inside, basically like if you know your true self, it doesn't matter what people say, like
yes,
you're justified in it, right? That's
yes.
been his whole that's hustle, loyalty, respect. That's never give up.
Yeah.
This that's Cena, right? And so like he's saying and just having the discipline to be able to continue to believe in him, you know, that whole thing, just to continue to do the things that needs to be done. It's it's really it's really hard to look at Thanos in the face and say, you're not wrong, but you know, it's
Yeah.
like
Which they,
it's
I mean, they, side note, that was some of the funniest stuff from that first season of What If, was when they had the Thanos
oh
there, and
yeah,
yeah,
right. And he's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, maybe should have
yeah,
this is right, you know, but it's yeah, I loved every bit of that, man. I loved every bit of it.
yeah. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was very, like, the other thing, like, we have to, I think, realize about this is we're only doing this because it finally makes sense,
Mm,
at least in terms of WWE storytelling. It just finally
yeah.
makes sense. And yes, also he is retiring, but you need to
I
make it
think
make sense. And I think
yeah,
logically it does.
you're right. I think it's not about the retirement thing. You finally have someone that can. I think we talked about. I don't know if we talked about this last week, but you have someone that is a real baby face, a real good guy. The crowd. That's a Cody Rhodes crowd, right? Like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
of course, Cena is gonna get the pops. Of course, Cena is gonna get the things, etc. But that is a Cody Rhodes draw crowd. Like, hands, that is not, you know, so it's to be able now to officially have that and to say, okay, this is the real passing of the torch. If we're talking passing of the torch, we're talking like who's the next man. There's never a next guy, whatever. Nah, like Rhodes is that guy,
Yeah.
and this proved it.
Oh yeah, and I mean it proved it. And another thing with John Cena not changing his song is we already have the built-in chant that we hate him.
Yeah.
So it just everything makes sense. Everything just feels like it makes sense. And the other thing, JP said CM Punk was that guy still. Elaborate. I can't remember. I probably blacked out.
Maybe what I'm talking about when I said that, it's Cody Rhodes, like Cody Rhodes is the guy and that's his crowd, like he's the next guy. Did you ever say CM Punk was the next guy?
Did I ever say that in my lifetime? Yeah. Absolutely, yes. Okay, I was shouting that from day one, and then I had a complete panic. Well, not when he came back in general.
Yeah.
Anyway, the other part about Cena's promo is we got a Cody Rhodes reply. And I've seen a lot of people kind of saying different things about Cody Rhodes' reply. And Neesin, I need to know, as much as we loved the Cena promo, how did you feel about Cody Rhodes walking down to that ring and saying what he said to Cena?
I loved it. I think people wanted to see it physical, like he got kicked in the nuts. He basically said, hey man, you know what? You were my hero. You were my hero. So I was, they say don't meet your heroes, and then you give your heroes grace because they're real people. So you saw Cody approaching it like that, saying, hey man, you're my guy. So it was like, all right, maybe you had a bad night. Cool. But then I just heard what you said, and now I feel bad for you, because it's not that you had a bad night, it's that you're a bitch. And I don't want to fight a bitch at WrestleMania. I want to fight my hero at WrestleMania. So go find that guy and lead a bitch in the ring. And like that was even more. How do you take getting kicked in the nuts and not retaliating and flipping it on his head without any physicality and still make it more impactful, right? Like that's why to sandwich it. That's why this was the best promo I've seen in a very, very long time, because psychology wise, my God.
I agree with you. I cackled when he said, go find that guy, and because I don't want to face this bitch at Mania. I cackled out loud, which is I feel like I'm pretty reactive to stuff, but that got me real bad. And I was like, that's it. And then I went, yep, that's all you need. Mm-hmm. And I think we forget that Cody technically, I think he's already kind of spoke on it 2 times already, right? Because this is Cena's first time back. Yeah. So he's already talked about it, I think, on 2 shows. So what do you really need him to say to John Cena's face that John could just go watch on tape? Well, you call him a bitch to his face and drop the mic and leave. You're only out there for like 2 minutes after he whined for 20. And I thought it was perfect. We don't need the physical altercation. I think the only thing, and a lot of people are saying apart from some stuff, it was perfect. And I agree. I agree with you. I think it was perfect. And in my mind right now, I'm thinking I kind of wish he had addressed the Rock stuff. But I don't know if he really needs to.
You say you wish to address the Rock stuff?
Yes, a little bit. But also, I don't think that he needs to. I'm like real time thinking. He doesn't need to because we know what The Rock wanted, and Cody didn't give him that. So Cena gave him that.
Yeah. I don't think, because at the end of the day, Cena, I don't think this is about The Rock. Like,
Right.
at the
This
end,
is about
like
the championship.
It's about us. It's about him. It's about this is how he felt, and no one asks how does he feel. Right?
Yes.
Like, that's what this is about. And The Rock has nothing to do with that besides just being a, you know, a door to be able to like go into to express himself, or a microphone, or whatever the case may be. I don't think The Rock needs to have this time. I do think it's personal. I do think, look, I'm turning on you, and it's about us and Dwayne. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's about us. It's not.
Yeah, I agree.
And I love the fact that they kept it as that. I love they didn't talk about things that aren't there. You know, don't talk about what happened off screen. Show us. And like you said, it wasn't. Imagine, Pingle. Imagine. When you saw me, next time you saw me, I kicked you in the nuts and left, right? And then you see me online. You know you're gonna see me in 2 weeks, but you see me online. You see me just living a normal life, putting out quotes and shit and everything. Just like, you know, you think they're normally inspiring quotes, but they could have double meanings, and you're just like, who is this person, right?
You're
Like,
vague posting.
And I can't wait to see him. I'm gonna beat the shit out of him. I cannot wait. Oh, I know I see him on Sunday. I know I will. And then you see me, but before you see me, you hear me crying about how I was mistreated by my boss. And you overhear that. And you overhear me crying and whining about it and pointing fingers at everybody. I'm not even mentioning you.
Yeah.
Because it's not even about you. You're not gonna want to really kick me in the nuts at that point. You're gonna be like, what the hell is wrong with you, Neesin? What's wrong? Gonna have to put Neesin.
Do it.
But you're gonna ask me, like, what's wrong? What is wrong with you? Like, right? Like, it goes from I just want to get back to being like, okay, this guy that, you know, I once cared for, what's going on? Like, now what's really lost his mind? Like, he's lost. And that's what we're seeing. And I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Dwayne has nothing to do with that.
He's just there. He's just
there. He's just Junior.
He's just there. Junior is the final boss.
He is the final boss.
Oh wait, that's Roman. Who would be our Roman? Do we have one?
BD.
There you go. Okay. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, I guess in closing, I thought this was perfect. I'm glad they let me know when it was happening so I could tune in live to watch it. It wasn't like they're like, it's open in the show. Come get it. Come watch it. And I think, honestly, they picked the perfect crowd to do it with. Because they always know when they go overseas, I feel like they know the crowd is hot.
Yep.
And they were. And yeah, I don't think they could have done it any better. How
good is Netflix feeling? Can I just ask that off script? Do you think the Netflix execs are like looking at this as like, this is great. Like, this is on all levels. This is great.
How do I phrase this without breaking any of my NDAs?
What?
I think that they are happy with it. I'll talk to you. It's
okay.
Because of the shows that I work on.
Okay.
One of them is on Netflix.
Oh, fair.
So I just am
Don't-
like, what can I say? I think that honestly, dude, I don't know. I'm sure they're happy with it, but it's
I mean,
just
I
like
think it's just
you never really know, like, because we don't know what they could. They know what the ratings are, right? And what
yeah. I
are
mean,
ratings?
they know what numbers they're getting. But they're top. Like they're
Yeah,
looking. I know that those things can kind of be skewed as having a show on a platform. That knowing that certain things could be skewed, but it's top on the world, like, and then
yeah,
in the US, and but just thinking visually, like it looks incredible, like
it
the
looks so
crowd
good.
reactions, the world, like you're in Belgium, and then like I said, I watch all WWE on Netflix. Shout out to
Yeah,
everyone outside of the US because you guys have it a lot better in a lot of ways.
but no,
But
yeah. I
it's
like presentation's
great.
great. I don't get the commercials. Do you get commercials?
I depends. Some are yeah, the drone shot with Penta Dylan.
They're
Yeah,
killing
that's
it with the
crazy.
drone shots. They're doing great
That's
with them.
crazy. Um yeah, I think I get commercials sometimes, but sometimes I get that waiting screen that doom doom. It's like the different superstars, like doom doom doom
Oh yeah,
doom
that.
doom doom. It's just like it's weird elevator type music with the superstar slow motion thing. It's pretty
Yeah.
dope.
But also when you don't have the commercials, it feels very seamless.
Yeah,
The show
yeah,
feels very like it flows. Like it's like you can tell they're kicking to break, but they don't sometimes they don't kick to break. They kick straight to the interviews up top. And it's
yeah.
great. I love it. I think that so far so good. And I would also say the same thing with Max with AEW. I so far so good.
If there if there's a VPN, if there's a VPN out there that wants to sponsor the show, we would happily take that.
Oh,
Just
that
to
would be
say,
great.
use a VPN to make sure you watch all your WWE content on Netflix.
Which one do you use? We're not getting paid, so it doesn't matter.
I use
Unless you
well,
don't wanna
that's
say.
why I don't want to say it because we're not getting paid. Like, pay us, damn it!
Gotcha.
Like,
All right. Yeah, then don't. No, they don't get it for free.
yeah,
Just know we
yeah,
both
we'll
use
be right back.
VPNs, and you'll never know what they are unless we start getting money for it.
This
We
is
will
true.
just say we'll be right back
Every
in every
single language. Especially NXT. NXT is notorious for that damn promo thing. I feel like NXT does it the most out of all three shows. Like it's just that promo will be right back in every single language. So yeah,
Yeah.
shout out
You know,
NXT.
the other thing I like about streaming,
Ooh,
at
yeah, let's
least
go.
on the AEW side, is I was getting pretty sick of picture in picture. As in, like,
Yeah,
an ad plays with like, just shoot me to commercial. I'll be fine. Don't worry
you,
about me.
you know what they need to do? They need to have a picture in picture option where you could choose the picture. Like if it
Ooh.
gets put in picture, and then you can select which goes into the bigger thing, and you
I
still
like
have
that.
the commercial sound playing maybe, but like you see the wrestling in the big frame rather than seeing it in the small frame. I think that's
Yeah.
the thing with picture in picture. Is just like, well, why did you just make it smaller, and why do I have to like still like see? Now I'm just squinting. Like,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man. All right, so
Well,
we
this
talked
has
about
been our
how
streamer
much we
talk.
enjoyed what's that?
So this has been our streamer talk, guys.
Streamer talk, yes. So we talked about how much we enjoyed the Cena promo followed by the Cody reply. Here's something that I am feeling a certain kind of way about, and I'm very interested to hear what
Ooh.
your thoughts are. And this would be the potential to have the women's triple threat at Mania between
Mm.
Io, Rhea, and Bianca. Now, we had the segment where Rhea signed the contract, and now everyone's. We'll get to my thoughts in a second. But Neesin, I just want to know how you feel about the potential of having a triple threat women's title match at Mania.
Well, to get the bangers of Rhea, Bianca, and Io, I think it's great. Do I think Rhea deserves it? Do I think how we got there? I don't know. You know, I don't like you can't sign a contract and make it and it be legal because you signed it when it was already signed, right? Like that's a little sketchy to me. And then I would rather see Rhea go through a gauntlet of people. You know, she's a badass, she's a beast. Like let her go through a gauntlet of people to get the opportunity to, you know, she was kind of unjustly beat. You know, she was a little distracted, even though it was her fault. That Bianca was down there. Just let her fight for that. Signing a contract with somebody's name already there, that's just a sneaky way out, you know? Like that's not a good way out.
So you're saying it's a sneaky way out, and I 100% agree with you. Honestly, if I'm being very truthful, this feels super lazy.
Fair.
I think the women's world title match at Mania should be between Io and Bianca, and that's it.
Yes.
That's it. Don't make Io the champion if we're going to have this weird, like, they don't care that she's champion and they just want to fight each other. No, that doesn't do it for me. Just give Io her flowers, give her a singles match against Bianca because we've been wanting that for a while. And honestly, I think Adam Pearce should be like, he should use logic and be like, sure, you signed the contract, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, you're not in the match. Sorry.
Well, he said that. He called it childish, right? He called her a child. He called her childish.
Good. Because she is being. Now, what should happen, and honestly, I don't know what the creative is going forward, is maybe we should have this gauntlet match. Okay, Rhea, if you run the gauntlet, then you can be in the match.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, she's not going to win the gauntlet because Liv will be in it and Raquel will be in it, and they'll mess it up for her. Which would then, like, how is she going to get to Liv? Well, she has to go find someone and maybe be. I'm not saying it needs to be a tag team that is like an official, like, we're a tag team now. But boy, oh boy, do I really like the idea of Raquel and Liv versus Alexa and Rhea at Mania. I think that would be fun. This is the only way you can get a match now. And it's against the people who screwed you out of the thing that you thought you deserved. That's just me fantasy booking.
Yeah. Hey. It's the minute I didn't know you're going with Alexa and Rhea as a tag team, but I see your vision and I approve. I see your vision and I approve.
Throw it together, see if it works. I'm not saying they have to win the tag titles.
Yeah,
throw it together, see if it works, and then go from there. But do not.
Yeah,
I don't want this triple threat. Thomas says it's apparently happening.
Yeah,
it feels so lazy.
Yeah, I'm not upset with the triple threat or like the idea of it in a sense. It's just I feel like we could get there in a stronger way. So with that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's gonna be. Look, Rhea in a tag match at Mania is not happening, right? Like she is too big of a star to be put into the tag team titles at this moment. And then you have your three big, quote unquote, your real big three. Fair feel even bad for saying that. Women that really held the held the company down this whole year, like Rhea. EO was putting on bangers after
Oh
bangers
yeah,
after bangers after bangers. And I mean, Bianca Belair is just the standard. Like Bianca
yes.
Belair, the standard is the standard. And Rhea Ripley, you know, to people's faults or not, like she's a mega star, like
Oh, absolutely.
mega star, right? So I get it on paper. You know, it does make sense on paper, and it makes a lot of sense, a lot of sense. But how do we get there? And so I'm kind of that signing a paper contract thing and like just leaving it as that.
Lazy.
Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't go as far as saying lazy. I would definitely go because I felt like it could have been a lot lazier. It could have just been like, well, I put me in the match, you know, and not have like any sort of altercation with them. But I think they still have time to do something else to be able to put a stamp on, okay, you know what, this is getting too crazy, too out of control. Fine. I want them like all you guys. And maybe that's going to be EO. We're going to see EO just say, look, man, I'm tired of being bitched out here. Like, I'm going to slap both of y'all at the same time. Like, I'm
That
going to
was
show
great,
you,
by the way.
you know, exactly. Like, you see her standing up for herself. So let's go, you know, like that. If we get there like that, if she goes to Adam Pearce and says, I want them both and I'm going to prove, and she walks out by beating both,
Retains, that would be great.
let's
Now,
go.
I think honestly, a different way we could have gotten to this was,
No,
but I think they
no.
just wanted to. No, I don't think so. I think they just wanted to really, because the EO win was shocking, and I thought maybe they just wanted to be like anything can happen on Netflix, kind of like that, right?
Yeah,
The way I would have done that match is maybe do a double pin. Yeah, you think you know somebody. Maybe I do something
standard.
like a double pin, so where it's like they both shoulders were pinned to the mat, and
Yeah,
Bianca's like, why am I why am I only, or why am I facing Rhea? She didn't even win that match.
right,
And and then you can they can all be, I don't know, doing whatever, and Adam Pearce can be like, fuck it, it's a triple threat. Like,
right.
if you guys are this upset about it, and this is what we're doing. I think that would have been better, which is very funny because that's kind of what happened tonight on AEW.
Yeah, right. The triple, yeah, that we're gonna get a
A little
triple threat.
different, but uh,
Yeah,
different
yeah,
but same.
yeah.
So there's a better
Can we
way
just
to get here.
can we just talk about Speedball Mike Bailey real quick? Like,
We absolutely
I
can.
want to see, I want to see him go straight Karate Kid, Cobra Kai, cut promos. I want full on like trailer promo vignettes shot in like the 90s VHS 4x3 formats. Um I feel like really diving into and falling into the Karate Kid-esque vintage, which hurts my heart to say, but like vintage type of vibe will really set it apart and really be a gimmick, and like, and I mean that all in the great ways, but like a gimmick in a character, and just help the build when he comes out of that and evolves into that, and really put him as a main eventer, because it's so entertaining, and he's so good, right? Like that's the thing, like he's such a good wrestler, or really
Yeah.
such a great wrestler. And there's a lot of great wrestling. As watching AEW, there's a lot of great wrestling, especially in that match. Like,
Yes.
it's a lot of great wrestling. The next level to that with me is like great character building within
Yes.
that great wrestling. Not like story arc, story, whatever it may be, but if you have individual character building, for instance, like what we see with at the start of Death Riders, right? Like it seemed like they had a reason and a cause, and everything kind of felt different and shifted. Or you could even say, never, never let Speed Bailey talk ever. The
Explain.
Karate Kid never talks. He doesn't have to talk. You see what I'm saying? Like they could just the whole promos could be montages. Like it could just be pure montages with like old hairband, like 80s 90s music playing on it, and then maybe just have him say like the whole, if you believe in something, something like that. It's just he doesn't even have to cut promos if he does things like that, man.
Yeah.
I would love that. And that's I don't know, that's what I just wanted to talk, because you mentioned the triple threat, and I think it's so much talent that was in that match, and it was a great way to kick off that. If we could just get a little bit more. I mean, Ricochet is Morris Day. Is Morris Day from the time that is literally he took Morris Day from Purple Rain. The whole thing is that all he has to do, if he start cutting what if he start cutting narrative promos in that vein? Like literally just in that same, yes, we're taking personalities, but now just stylistically start stealing this, right? And adding it now because nobody's doing it. And everybody relates to the 80s and 90s things, even though they probably weren't born, but they relate to it because it's such classic. It's such a warm feeling, man. All right. Off my AEW soapbox now. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
So I guess we move from one triple threat to another. And we have Punk, Roman, and Rollins, which that looks like where we're going.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess this is the day of asking about triple threats. But Neesin, how are you feeling about, and it's not official yet, but how are you feeling about Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk at Mania? Do you think it has enough juice as is, or do you think we need something else to add to it?
What will we add to it? Brock Lesnar?
No, I'm saying like a stipulation.
Well, no stipulation, but definitely I'm ready for this. And I think these three have been linked together over the last 10 years more than anyone else. And this is the first time we're going to have the three in a ring to cut promos on Friday night on SmackDown. I don't, with Paul Heyman just as a centerpiece in all of this, in my brain, there's no way this can't fail. Or there's no way this can fail, rather. Like it can't.
Yeah.
It's no way.
Oh,
and because there's so much history. Like we got to understand, CM Punk is the reason why the Shield was created.
Yep.
Roman Reigns is in the Shield, some say to spite CM Punk. CM Punk leaves WWE, and one of the things on his way out, he trashes Roman Reigns because people were forcing Roman Reigns not down their throats, but they were basically building him as a star. That was the star that they wanted to build. So when putting matches, all those things. And on the way out during that podcast, if you can ever find it, if you haven't listened to it, or if you haven't listened to it in a long time, I will advise you to listen to what CM Punk says about Roman Reigns, and then go watch that Slammies when Roman Reigns was injured. He was out. Podcast came out Thanksgiving. Slammies came out in December, I believe, that year.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns comes on that stage and he gets booed out the building in CM Punk chants. That was the start of the turn of the crowd onto Roman Reigns, and that was due to CM Punk. And for the last 10 years, he had an uphill battle with trying to win that. So like, and then let alone Roman Reigns is supposed to be the guy, and every time he can't be the guy, Rollins is called. They call Seth Rollins' name. They put the company on Seth's back. They every time something happens to Roman, they call Rollins. Right? So this is to have this triple threat next to a woman's triple threat next to John Cena and Cody Rhodes, like they could have ran 3 nights. Easy.
Ooh, don't say that.
Easy. These are all main event worthy
right
matches. They could have easily ran 3 nights.
Oh yeah.
And I would have been there. I would have been there right there. All 3 nights. I would have mortgaged my kids. My future kids. I would have sold every future kid that I had.
Whoa.
Yeah. Look, it's 15,000 a ticket, Like what are you gonna do?
Not go. I don't
need the kids. I don't need them. What are you talking about?
So you bring up a lot of great points, and I also agree. Like this is history in the making, as they say, and the point about Roman being in the Shield to spite Punk, I would not be surprised if Chris Hero's name comes up in a promo, because that was supposed to be the third person.
Yeah.
And they went, what about Reigns? So I would not be surprised if Chris Hero's name comes up. Or Cassius Ohno, if they would call him.
Oh, no.
And you mentioned him at the beginning, but I think there's also one other thing that we don't know about that might rear its ugly head at this Mania match is what was the favor that Heyman owes Punk? What is it? I almost guarantee they won't even mention it. They've mentioned it a lot.
They can't mention it.
I don't think they'll mention it until it slaps us across the face at Mania. And they'll be like, was that, whatever that may be, the favor? It's going to be great. I'm 100% on board with this. I think this is leading up. The promos are going to be absolutely insane for this. I think
Friday night, baby, or Friday afternoon. Let's go.
It's going to be so good.
And we're getting them all at noon. This is great. We're getting them in the afternoon.
Love it.
Hey, lunchtime wrestling, breakfast wrestling.
The best.
All for it. It's so great. So great, guys. Like Dylan, why this has been great. Like you do this every Saturday for SmackDown. Like, why haven't you told me that? Like, this is what it needs to be. Morning wrestling, fantastic.
Heyman helps Punk win the triple threat. I don't know what. I don't know if Heyman is in the spot. Like if this was Heyman when he's like, "Please take me with you." If that was that Heyman, I'd be like, "Okay,
do that again.
Please take me with you." If it was that
Chief,
if it was that Heyman, then maybe. But I don't think we're there anymore. I think we've gotten past that. I don't know. I think putting Heyman with Punk again would be strange at this point to say.
I don't think this is a heel or a tweener type of wrestling match.
They're all, if anything, they're all tweeners.
Yeah, they're all just
in the end.
Yeah, they all have beef with each other. They all have hatred with each other. They all have a reason like to despise each other. And that's when wrestling is great. Like it's storyline that, you know, could be real life. We don't know these people's real life. Like, this is like
Yeah.
all amazing storytelling that potentially can be told. And that's, to me, that's why I'm really interested with these crowds with these promos also being overseas, like for the next couple of weeks. I think the build for this match in particular has it has the highest chance to out edge Cena versus Rollins.
Yeah, I could see that. And I think also my answer to Thomas's question would be, it's whoever you want to be the good guy in the scenario. I think that's how much it's whoever you want it to be at personally. Because it's like, oh, I agree with Seth the most, or I agree with Roman the most, or I agree with Punk. So I think
It's crazy.
Hmm?
Triple H fired Punk on his wedding night, basically our wedding day, sent them his papers. Triple H sent those papers. Triple H handpicks Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns was Vince McMahon's guy. So you basically have just these three people that represent three different genres of music, if you will.
Oh,
right? That all are seamlessly connected together. And you really could sit back and watch just a beautiful masterpiece being crafted, like live in front of our, like, I'm saying it just like, man, I'm really excited about this triple threat. Like I'm talking myself into it. Like, I'm really excited about it. Like, it's going to be a banger no matter what. Because one thing about Roman Reigns and triple threats, this man don't miss. One thing about Seth Rollins and triple threats, this man don't miss.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I'm excited. I will be tuning in, watching this promo on at lunchtime. I don't know what I'll be eating, but I'm sure it will be even more delicious when I'm watching these three tear each other apart.
There, just to let everyone know what Thomas is talking about, WWE is doing a European tour around Forbidden Door. So they're literally running UK from July to August.
Okay.
I think, right around when Forbidden Door is out there. So
Interesting.
yeah, no, get that money.
Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah, they did just sign a new perf deal. That's right. They're doing a big TKO takeover. They're doing UFC, WWE, and is it boxing? Oh no, the bull riding. Bull riding.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right, Neesin.
Ooh, what's up?
I gotta ask you.
No, you don't.
We have a little more friction in the Judgment Day after the Intercontinental title match on Raw. And my question to you is, do you think this is the, like, up until then, it's been hashtag Bullet Club is fine with Judgment Day.
Bullet Club was fine.
Judgment Day's fine. Everything's fine. There are no leaders here. We're all the same.
We're all the same.
We're all the same.
We're good.
Do you
We're
think
good.
Do you think this is the beginning of the end of Judgment Day as we know it?
Man, you know, Finn Balor is he's one hell of a guy. And Dom is one. I feel like this isn't the end, but I feel like this is definitely we're gonna get some change for Judgment Day. Some change, man. Like Dom's just too cool, man. Dom's just too cool. Like, and for him to have Liv, and like, is he gonna be the quote unquote leader? Or is this just a play for Finn Balor to be able to get a title? You know, like, they've been teasing this new member as well. So maybe we get a new member. it was just interesting that they said Penta, you know, like, and then they use Penta as the snake, as the reason to call Dom a snake. So it'll be interesting. It'll be, and what are you thinking? What just popped in your head? What do you got?
So I think what I've been thinking about this is this the end of Judgment Day? I was gonna say as we know it, and the answer is yes. I think it's
Okay.
time for Finn to turn back to being a face, but I also
I
think
think so.
I think so. I think Finn can do both. I think he's very good at both. But I think this is not what I was thinking. This is not what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, I was hoping not. I was like, what are you thinking?
I think, and the other thing we have to remember is I think when JD McDonough comes back, he's not going to be a
Yeah.
heel because the man almost straight up died and finished a match. So I think we might remember that and he might be a face. So
Such a good deal, though.
I think the things are going to crumble around it. What I was thinking when you mentioned that they were looking at Penta, how interesting would it be if Ray Phoenix showed up to embrace his brother and then turned on him and joined the Judgment Day? And we have Dark Phoenix. Well, you couldn't call him that. But what if we did that?
Man. My first thought when you started talking, I'm like, hell no, come on, man. Like, no. But then I'm like, we don't need Penta and Ray as a tag team right now. Like, honestly,
No.
I didn't want them on the same brand. Like, I saw the promo. I thought Phoenix was gonna be on SmackDown and Penta was gonna be on Raw, which I thought would have been great. But if you're talking about bringing him to Raw to go against his brother, I think is incredible, because that a lot, you're building two characters at once when you already you kind of establish one, right? But the other one is in a group that's already established. So I love that idea. Like, the more Phoenix a part of Judgment Day, but I think Finn stays. I think JD stays. I think it stays together. They just add Phoenix, and it's go time with Phoenix and Penta, especially now since Penta, I think, I think he like attacked Finn at the end of the match or something like that. So yeah, I think,
And
they're already running promos for Penta. So I mean, for Ray. So yeah, woo.
and I think the backstory for that could be, oh, you got to come here before me. I thought we were a tag team, and you get to come here for all the fanfare, and you leave me behind.
Yeah, maybe it's like,
You don't
yeah,
have to mention like you left me to run out my AEW that just you left me behind.
right.
You don't have to mention them.
I think you mentioned it plays on a family, like you said, like, yo, you had your family front row for your premiere. Like, where was I? Where was I? You know,
I'm your
like,
brother.
yeah. And you just, and then you kind of, yeah, I'm with it. I love it. I could talk.
Because
I love that. Let's
honestly,
go.
if you put anyone next to Dom, it's instant booze forever.
You're right.
So I think it would be very interesting to see Phoenix as a heel going against his brother, because
Yeah.
dude, that's a SummerSlam match of the night. SummerSlam? That might be too far away. You know what I'm saying? It's an after Mania crazy match.
Sorry, things buffering. You could do a multi-man match at Mania, and then they could kind of have this feud go into SummerSlam.
Yeah. I
So I love that.
think
I love
either
that.
way, I think this is the way to go. I think this is
And
would
SummerSlam
be
is 2
very
nights this year, right? In Minnesota
Oh
or
yeah,
some
it
shit like
is.
that. Yeah.
There you go. And I mean, like, honestly, if Ray and Penta could, if they decided to run that match as a singles match at Mania, they could. It would be amazing because they both know each other. They both wrestled each other. It would be. They could just let it go immediately, I think.
Right.
But they don't have to, and I think that would be very interesting. And then I wonder if we're going to call him Ray Phoenix still.
Yeah, Ray Mysterio, Ray Phoenix.
Well, that's the
I don't
reason
know,
why he picked the name Ray Phoenix, is because he
Well-
loves Rey Mysterio. So he could cut. It could be a twofold thing. I used to carry this old man's name, but I don't care about him either anymore. I'm just Phoenix.
But I mean, we don't have a
Oh,
lot
man.
of
We could do Dom and Phoenix versus Penta and Mysterio, Rey Mysterio.
at WrestleMania.
Sure, why not?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
WWE, I'm available.
If Penta Ray Phoenix at Mania done tear the mask off, this was overdone.
That's like the jam.
Yeah.
That's the jam. They love doing that. They love doing it. So we have one more WWE thing I would like to address.
What else?
Before we get to my extra special thoughts on
About
All Elite
AEW?
Wrestling.
AEW.
And
AEW.
hold on. Thomas has a disagreement. No, I disagree. Finn and Dom are going to be involved in the IC title picture. It's going to be a multi-man ladder match for the title. I could see that.
Okay.
I could see that happening, but I think in that match, maybe the removal of one of them from the Judgment Day happens.
Fair.
Or the night after. I could see that. IC ladder match. Why not?
Ooh.
I want to play devil's advocate and have Dragon Lee join the Judgment Day. Ooh, that would be interesting.
Only if he comes out dressed like this Stitch.
What is that? Does he have full? That is a full body Stitch.
It's a full body. It's just a grown Stitch.
He's grown. He's grown. And he has many guns and a chain
to fit his many hands,
good for him.
Hard bottoms. Look at those hard bottoms on.
Oh, wow.
Look at that. Man, it's fit.
Amazing. So we have our world title match set for Mania. Jey Uso won the Royal Rumble, and he is on his way to face Volta at Mania. And Neesin, my question is to you.
Oh.
I feel like the first couple of weeks, we're all doing it. Everyone's super happy. Everyone's super supportive. Jey Uso, they're ready for it. How do you feel the momentum has carried? How do you feel it's going into Mania now that Rumble is in the way rearview mirror?
Yeah, you don't put your head down. It's just a straight. Yeah.
I don't want to hit my microphone. I'm trying to keep it. I'm
yeeting. I'm yeeting all over the place. I am a yeeter every Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, sometime on Sunday, maybe twice a day on Sunday. I'm yeeting. Yeet, 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 yeet. It doesn't matter. I think we don't see crowd reactions, or we don't see just online reactions, or we don't see people love him or hate him. He gets reactions, and I'm yeeting all the way to Mania, and I hope he yeets that title above his head at Mania. I think the momentum is hot. Look, he took that. AJ Francis himself, okay? Sucks sometimes. It sucks, but it happens. He bounced right back. And one thing about Jey Uso, he has this charisma. You know what? He reminds me of Ron Artest. Hear me out. Jey Uso reminds me of Ron Artest because it feels like at any moment they could put you through a wall, but at the same time, you could tell that they are passionate and they love the game. And when he wins that title, I see Jey Uso doing the Ron Artest. He passed me the ball, man. He passed me the ball, because in this aspect, Kobe Bryant is Roman Reigns. And instead of going to get the shot himself, he passed Jey Uso the ball. And now he gets a title. So, yeah, man, I'm all for it. We eating all the way to Vegas. Eating all the way to Vegas. What about you?
I agree. I think the momentum is for Jey Uso it's there. Yeeting all over the world, as they say. I think as much as I love Volta and always have, I think it would be very nice for the man whose nickname is Main Event to win the main event at WrestleMania. Now, I'm not saying he needs to be like champion for forever, but I think having that in the history books, I think honestly, if you are good enough to win the Royal Rumble, then you are good enough to carry a show as champion. Period.
Look, this may be recency bias, but Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble might be the best Royal Rumble win, because that's what the Royal Rumble was really made for. Like, after, like, of course, the Inception was made for all, like, get stars on TV, get as many stars in, blah, blah, blah. But the whole idea of anyone could win, no one picked Jey Uso. Like, no one picked Jey Uso to win the Royal Rumble. So for one time, for it to be anyone can win and he wins, my God, I love John Cena beats Jey Uso for his 7th. But see,
that would be crazy.
Dylan, to your point earlier, you said earlier in the chat, and I don't know if I clicked it up or not, but I read it. You said that how long do we get before, I think it was you, Dylan, how long do we get before the Cena turn to face? And I do think that's going to happen by the end of the year. I don't see, since it's not Jey and Cena at Mania, I don't see him taking the title off mid-year and then doing that turn, at the end of the year in December, like by Thanksgiving or whatever the case may be. I just think that's a little too much time if I'm just thinking out loud, but I think it says more about beating the guy to get your 17, and then maybe losing to the guy back, or losing to a Roman Reigns or a CM Punk, or
it's gotta be Punk. And that's me saying that.
I mean, Punk or Randy Orton.
Yeah,
I think
I just think
one of those got to take the title.
I just think because we can't forget Punk's "I'll get you, John Cena" promo.
Yeah.
We can't forget that. So, and you too, Dwayne. I love that promo. I thought it was great. It was very, very good. But I think we can't forget that either because we have that. That's ready to go. It's another thing that's ready to go.
If Punk loses, if Punk wins the triple threat at Mania, he beats Cena for the title at some point. Like, I'm just gonna say that now.
Yeah.
Like, if Punk wins and Cena wins, Punk beats Cena at some point. Now, as I'm saying that, my brain is like, whoa. That favor. Jey Uso. What if he says, the favor is I need a title shot and I want him. I want Jay. And that's the favor.
Who knows? And that's the beauty of planting that seed at War Games.
Right. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of not knowing where you want to go, leaving it open-ended for anything.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
It is. It is indeed.
Yeah. I can't wait till we start our Marvel podcast so I could just rant about how great Doctor Doom will be, our Doomsday will be in Secret Wars and Daredevil, and how incredibly roller coaster of a ride of like, that's a terrible scene, that's an amazing scene that show was yesterday.
Say his name. So good,
man. What he said? He said, he got life. Oh, yeah. Did Foggy get life? Oh.
What a great scene. And I think that's literally the only scene we're going to get with him. And if that's it, that's literally like the thing with Cody on Monday. It was perfect. That's it. We're good.
They came. Yeah, that's what I said. This is why we have to talk, because I could like the showrunners came and you could tell they saved the day, because hey man, as much as I love a good this is how I feel, like, or like social commentary type of thing, I felt like that was the first draft of a that was the first draft of a social commentary script with the guy that got caught stealing, and it was no nuance to it. It was just so on the nose, and it felt very. It didn't feel. Everything I was about to say felt a little too harsh, but it just felt like the first draft. Let's just say that,
Yeah.
And you could tell the shots that the showrunners in them that they came in and did, and the stories that they told, you could see the difference.
Yeah.
In it, and Frank Castle was one of them for sure.
Love it.
The end. Sorry.
Love it. The end. Thomas says, yeah, and in Marvel Red. Thomas says, y'all think Cena will win the IC title before the end of the year since it's his final run? He hasn't won the IC title, so I don't know. I think the main storyline is 17. That's the storyline.
17. Yeah, I think Cena is not going to get the IC title. It's not his bag. He doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Like, Cena's a GOAT, like, has Flair had the IC title before?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And he had it more recently than you think. Not like,
Oh my God. I forgot. They did. He was just, I remember now. This old man was just walking around with the title on his.
Who did he beat for that, chat?
Oh man, what a time! What a time! Evolution.
Oh, was it Carlito? Yeah, thank
Carlito.
you, Thomas. It was Carlito.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I would have left too.
All right.
Like,
So
what are we doing? What are we doing?
before we get out of here,
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Tell me your thoughts on AEW, man. How do you feel about AEW and after the Dynamite that we had?
If you all remember last week
Mm-hmm.
when Neesin said, "What would you want to do to fix? What would fix it or make it better?" And I would
Mm-hmm.
say this shit right here.
Mm-hmm.
We had 5 matches. 5. We had 2 women's matches, 2 of them, and one of them was a main event. We'll talk about it, Dylan, because oh boy. We had 2 women's matches, and they were both great, and they both got time. And like I said, one of them was the main event. And
Mm-hmm.
man, that was great. We opened the show with a hot match, which had a finish, but I get it. And we had promos that I felt were fine. It's a good starting block. This is the starting block where you should start. The internet should not get to the point where it's like 2 women's matches. Ooh, thank you. That should be the standard. Is at least 2 that get time. You can go back into our archives, and I almost wanted to go find it just so I could remember how mad I was about it, where I compiled all of the women's matches and how much, like, the average time of each one.
Good old
This is a good starting block.
Okay.
I thought this was a very good show, and the women's matches were both great. Mercedes and Billy Starks apparently were both like, do you maybe want to die out there tonight? And they were like, I was thinking the same exact thing. And they beat the shit out of each other, and it was great. And boy, oh boy, I know we talk about a lot of stuff that AEW is kind of lacking, but I think their women's division is getting there. I think it's getting there. I'm not saying I'm kind of sick of being like, it's not, yeah, it's good, but it's not WWE. It's different. It's different. Yeah. I'm sick of the pitting them against each other. I just want a good show. That's it. AEW is never going to be WWE and vice versa. It's fine. We can all watch everything and have a good time.
Yeah.
Megan Bane's stat. It is insane. Listen, it's a starting block. It's a starting block. And I will say, I really wish they had just run this version of Mox Copeland at the pay-per-view, because it was better. It was.
I'm letting you finish because I have so many comments about that, and
it was better. However, we have to remember that the other match still happened, and there was still a lot of bullshit happening in it. It was practically the same. They could have done the same thing during that pay-per-view, but just had Christian in it. So it was needless to have the rematch. But I'm not as mad as I thought I would be after the fact. That I cannot believe the spike spot. That was
my God. Let's just talk. Let's talk about that. Let's have a conversation.
I I don't know. I don't even know. I was speechless. I could not believe. And I think the thing that boy, when you're seeing that they're struggling to get it out of his back, just cut somewhere else.
No. Let's have this conversation. No, don't cut. No, don't. This is what makes you different. This is what sets you apart. Like that spike swing for whatever the hell it was. I thought it was fugazi, to be honest with you, right? Like I wasn't even like, all right, hit him stomach, whatever. Like if you're not bleeding over, and it was like a thud. It was like when he hit him in the stomach.
When he hit him in the stomach, yeah.
It was. I'm like, and so when I didn't see blood, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like I'd rather you not be impaled and like bleeding out your internal organs.
Yes.
And then the back, and then the suplex on the back spot, and then it being stuck and him getting up, and then the pull and the skin pulling out, and it was the blood was like yellow, and I'm like, oh, that's a problem. Like that's a puncture in there. It is in. Like he had to go tell Yuta, hey man, just go finish.
Do the spot. You need a spot. Do the spot. Go do your spot. It out.
We'll figure this out on this end. I really felt, and that's why it really made me upset, because this was not necessary. Like this match, everything in here could have happened. Everything, every single thing. We only had this to get to FTR. That's why we had this match, to get to FTR. And my thing is like, we didn't need that. And if you were going to do that, you could have did it on Sunday at Revolution. And then we could have had something like we could have had, like, again, I did love the match. I thought it was great. I thought, Edge and Mox, like they went balls to the wall. But and what we got Willow and Marina at, like,
okay, before you go on, I think Kaz had the greatest line of the night about Willow. You get laid out by somebody wearing a sweater.
Oh, that's a rough
night. Dude,
I heard that. I was
crying.
Like, as I was in a daze, I was like, oh man, yeah, he's right. That's hilarious.
That's a rough night.
It's a rough night. Ah, man. Yeah, all your points, all your things. It was a real good show. And it just this was, to me personally, this was a moment to remind, she has all the titles, but this was the moment that reminded you that she is the boss, the standard, the blueprint, the GOAT, the DDT, Mandalorian, the queen of the cell, the TBS champion, the Rev Pro champion, the Stardom champion, the gold collector. I don't even know if she has like a type of belt collector name. I don't know, but she is Mercedes Moné, and you could bank on that. Yeah, like she's that. And this was that moment. Now she's no Athena. Look here. Okay, I think everyone knows that's the match that, Athena versus Mercedes, with her beating Billy Starks. Yeah, my brain. But with her beating Billy, Athena's next, right? Yeah. Like you need Athena. Things blanking out. What are you doing, TK? Tony Storm is sitting right there. Give me Tony versus Mercedes.
I mean, it would be a coward at the biggest show of
All In
at their biggest show. But
you don't think that'd be Athena?
I think it's Athena. I think it is.
Yeah, Texas. She's Texas. Like it's gonna be Athena.
No, Athena might be Dynasty.
You think so? Then Billy Saints.
Listen, I know Athena is from Texas. I want her to get that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get that's the big match is Tony versus Mercedes. I think
That's the money.
yeah.
That's the money. Like
Do I think
Mercedes,
Athena deserves that match? Absolutely.
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
But I guess if you're thinking like this is our biggest show, we've been hyping it up for over a year or at least a year. We need to have
Or Fight Forever. The London show. Tony versus Mercedes. That's the shit. That may be the one. That may be the one.
Yeah. That could be the one. But I will
That
say
may be the-
this was a huge improvement from how I was feeling last week.
Okay, that's
Which
good.
Which seems to be that's how it goes with me with AEW now. But I thoroughly enjoyed this show. I thought it was very good. I think Mike clocked the Billy Monet match at 12 and a half minutes, which is crazy. And it shouldn't be crazy. That should be the standard. And I don't know if we got a time on the main, but name one thing you hated, Pago. Live the gimmick. What did I hate? I mean, just the like all the ending stuff with Death Riders. I still think the Death Riders are like, I don't think they know what they are anymore. Because I can't tell anymore. So
who knows, man? Where do we go from here? I know we have Swerve versus Mox. You got MJF, now trying to position himself to get the title after that. They're quote unquote mid card, right? Which is that fatal four-way, yeah.
for the
That they had
international,
for the continental title or international title. It's solid, right? So that leaves Kenny, but then you have Will Ospreay. What is Will Ospreay going to do? Is Will Ospreay going for the continental? No, or is he going for the main? So yeah, it's
a lot of plates.
What does Mox? Yeah,
spinning.
what does Mox do?
After AEW talk, who do you think is Jay's partner in Glasgow? That would be great. That would be fun. I think he's there too, right?
Jay's partner. What are you talking about?
Jay Uso. He said, "I have a part. I'm. It's a
to
be named.
Oh, Penta? No. He's going up against Gunther and who? Or no, he's going up against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
Yeah. Could be Jimmy also. And they need to do this. This absolutely needs to happen.
Yeah, I think that's what.
And the Continental Classic should be for a world title shot now. It should not be for a championship. Easy fix. Yeah. Listen, you're still a new company. You're trying everything. It's fine. It's fine. And you know what else is fine? Us ending the show.
A little long, guys.
Little long, but good show. Good show. Everybody, thanks for watching. This was a lot of fun. Neesin, where can everyone find you on the internets?
You can find I'll pull it up. Guys, you can find me right here. Stay Fly Life on all the webs. Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything. Stay Fly Life. That's what we do. Where can I find you, Pingel?
Well, you can't find me in our private chat where I did not see anything until now. My bad. You can find me everywhere at JP Thrice, but you can find me on Blue Sky. It's jp3.notlg.com. Guys, this was a lot of fun. We will be here next week. Thank you, everyone, for your comments. Thank you, Dylan, for all the gifts. Love my gifts. And I'm glad that they're back.
Shout out to Dylan. I landed on Shade Room today because of Dylan. So shout out to Dylan. My face has been used over 500 million times, so that's pretty wild.
I gotta get my face out there. I don't know if they'll let me though.
Here we are.
We'll try it. We'll figure it out. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining us this week. Make sure you check out that#show.com for everything trending in geek pop culture. And we will see you guys next week.
There is your main event for WrestleMania.
Trying to load this bet.
There is your main event for WrestleMania. John Cena